Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Clashing Conferences Basketball Edition.
Let's
This is
go.
kind of a
Playoff
special
edition.
thing. Huh?
Playoff edition. Playoff edition. There ain't
edition.
you don't see any losers here, do you?
Okay, Mac, Charlie, I was just going to get to that.
All right. Well, I just want you to make it clear you don't see any losers here.
Karan,
No.
teach your fellow Knickerbocker some etiquette, okay? It's lacking drastically. Maybe to get him on his hair game, too. He can take his hat off.
We're
I know he's got
jazzed
nice
and
hair.
ready to go. I haven't
All
got
right.
it
Nice
for
hair.
2 weeks. I've been answering for some takes. Let's go.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are the Clashing Conferences Basketball Podcast. We only have 4 guys here tonight. We kind of have ourselves another Celtics and Knicks tag team matchup. This time, instead of our friend Ben, I'm having a hard time tonight. We have our friend Anthony P. Flugrat in the house. Anthony.
The
What
Bucks
up?
fan. What do you mean
Yours
tag team
truly.
matchup?
Well,
I thought you were.
It
I thought he
is.
was a Bucks fan.
he is a Bucks fan, but they're getting the snot kicked out of him. But also, Tony has a very special shirt on tonight. Tony,
Do
what
you
is that
confirm?
shirt you are wearing?
I am wearing the Kevin Garnett Great Grit and Balls shirt because we're getting it together. We're going to war. I know obviously it was with the Celtics. Obviously, blah, blah, blah. My team is
That's
Milwaukee.
just
But I went to college in Massachusetts, so they own a special piece of my heart. And I've literally watched for 3 seasons. I can say I literally watched every game of Celtics basketball with Matt, my other cousin Sam.
Terrible.
So,
Bam.
awful.
Eat that.
I'm sorry.
Eat that.
That's
so
awful.
if I do have to go
You're
number 2 team, I would go the
And you're a
Celtics.
Bucks fan? You can't. That's just.
It's absolutely awful, Tony. I can't believe you're doing something like
That's-
that.
yeah.
That's
What
just,
if he moves to Massachusetts in the next 6 months? Does it
It don't
count?
He's
matter.
got a Bucks flag behind him. It says Bucks in 6. What is
Listen.
Guys, if it's Bucks Celtics, I'm always Bucks, always like Bucks. But
No.
if it's like no horse in the
Problem
matter,
is-
I'm gonna root for
The
the
problem
Celtics.
is
for
it's
sure.
never.
Actually, if I could get to
Hold
go
on.
to a parade, then I'm gonna be rooting for the Celtics. Yes.
It's not
fraud?
your
I
squad,
call.
dude.
Wish you had a fraud alert button.
All right, hold on. Before we go completely off the rails, can I give a shout out to our sponsors?
Yes.
Please.
Okay. I was going to start, but I was waiting for someone to interrupt. Okay, here we go.
I do want to
Are
tell
you
him
on your way
something.
to Hey, are you on your way to Lancaster, Topher? Because if you are, you know where you should go?
I should go to Lean and I should go see Lean and go to Sparrow, but I'm not on my way to Lancaster. I'm on my way to Green Bay to see Tony P.
That's
Let's
true.
go!
That is
The
true.
Bucks / Celtics
We're like, where
fan.
we
But
at,
hold
Jimmy
on.
Altuve?
Hold on. If you were going to reroute your car and go to Lancaster, PA, then you would go get your haircut at Sparrow Hair
Sparrow
Studio.
Hair Studio.
Go see Lean, right? And again, I am coming. I promise. I don't know when. This summer, I'm coming to get my haircut. I'm very excited. I've never talked so much about a barber and never met them before, so I'm excited. And then I got to meet Juice, too. Also,
You're going to bless their shop with your nice locks.
yeah, my
All right.
Goldilocks. All right,
Let's do
also,
it.
guys, if you need to rep your team with a custom 3D chain, and you don't have to spell their name, who do you go to?
Lotwin.
Lotwin.
Yes, Lotwin.
I didn't want to be
And
the only
ladies
one
and
that
gentlemen,
answered.
guess what? If you go in and spell the name, you don't get an extra discount. We learned that on the podcast. The hosts, we don't. Just go in, talk to them, go get a nice chain. You've seen the one that we're repping. Our content manager has one. Lewis has one. I know our friend Topher, for whatever reason, decided to get a Knicks one.
I'm waiting on one.
Hey, So again, Lotwin, hit him up. Nice custom 3D chain. Go see him. Hit him with the TCC POD 10% off. That's it. There you go. And our content manager fixed it.
What's going on?
All right, let's talk about your stupid Knicks. I want to talk about them because they lost, and they should be down 0-2. But go ahead, boys. Talk to me.
I don't know why they should be down 0-2. I think that's a stupid take.
Oh Lord.
Why are you going to take away their 21-0 run? Like that was a great run. Like how are you going to take that away from them and give us a loss?
So how are you going to take away a wire-to-wire win?
And how are you
It's
going
a
to
good
take away the
win.
other 3 quarters of that game where they got?
Well, it wasn't a wire-to-wire win. The Knicks were winning the game at some point. But, I mean, they lost. It is what it is. That's the playoffs. They lost.
Yeah, we played terrible. We shot terrible. I mean, like I told you in the text the next day. I mean, you said it just a week or so ago when you played Orlando. I mean, when you played OKC. the free throws. I mean, I think in the first half we shot one free throw.
Yeah, that
That's a
was
little
bad.
ridiculous. That was bad. And there was tons. And I mean, if you want to talk about the last minute and a half of the game, there was 2 or 3 times they could have called fouls and we could have been on the free throw line. There could have been 2 chances. There was 3-point plays. The bottom line is we talk about excuses. There's no excuses. They didn't play well. They weren't aggressive. Towns said it after the game. They manned up and they're going to go in and take care of business in Detroit. I'm not worried about it.
You should.
It
be.
happens.
I
It's a
mean,
series.
Yeah,
It's a
look,
series.
to piggyback what Chris said, right? I mean, it's a very frustrating loss. Obviously, you don't want to lose home court to any team in the playoffs. Detroit, maybe we underestimated them a little bit. I didn't really watch them a whole heck of a lot this year, but obviously they play very tough, very physical basketball, old school. All these playoffs have been very low scoring in my opinion, but the Knicks only scoring 94 points. Again, the kind of swallowed the whistle. They didn't want to, make any calls. No excuse. The Knicks had the game tied at 94 with less than a minute to go in the game. I think Josh Hart got mugged on that and one play that was never
100%.
called. So if he gets that free throw, the Knicks take the lead. It's a totally different game with under a minute to go. But Shooter made a great shot, and it was. Go ahead.
There was
Rick.
a foul.
Go ahead.
There was a foul.
I wanted to ask about game 1. I know the call went the way it went, but I want to say it might have been Tobias Harris that had the breakaway dunk that he not only got assaulted, but the ball went in the hoop and then back out the hoop, and somehow it wasn't a foul, it wasn't 2 points, and the Knicks got the ball. And that kind of had a big effect on that run, I believe.
The ball has to go through the hoop.
Huh?
The ball has to go completely through the hoop, which it didn't do.
Right, if it gets smacked in the head, like you said with Josh Hart, then it might not go through the hoop.
But before that, they called offensive basket interference because he pulled on the net. So
yeah,
that took away the foul.
He got assaulted.
That was all. It was all within the play.
I don't want to sit here and make excuses just on the free throws. Okay, I mean they lost the game. Like I said, they were tied at 94.
Yeah, no excuses.
To go, and we lost. Towns had an awful game. Very
OG had a bad game.
Disappointing in the way he played. Didn't score, I think, in the whole second half. Had 8 points in the first few minutes, and then didn't score 2 points the rest of the game. And OG 10 points. I think Josh Hart had 10 points. So you're not gonna, how much we play our bench. That's been a topic of conversation all year. So if we're only gonna get 10 points each from our starters, then we're not gonna win.
Screwed be thy name.
I hope they buckle down and make adjustments. And obviously, Detroit's going to be a tough place to play. They haven't made the playoffs in a while, so I'm sure that place is going to be rocking. And they just got to weather the storm and take one over there. I'm confident they'll come back at least 2-2, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not even – if we would happen to split in Detroit, I wouldn't even be concerned because I really feel like we'll take care of business at home. I really do. I really do. And I'm not saying that we underestimated them. Knicks lost games throughout the year. They lose games like this occasionally. This ain't the first time we've seen them play like this. It happens. They had a bad night.
Sir, can I throw a stat at you? In your last 3 playoff games at home, you're 1-2. Just saying.
That's fine. And we are a good road team. We are going to take care of business. It's fine.
Are you talking about game 7 last year and the 2 games this year?
Yeah.
That's why I laughed.
I know why you laughed.
I'm saying based on your recent track record, your confidence, I don't know where it's coming from, but it ain't a winning record. That's for damn sure.
I'm just talking about the regular season. They were a good road team.
I'm talking about the playoffs.
It's a different team than last year's team. It ain't the same team as last year. You can't compare this playoff team to last year's playoff team.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
If this
is it
series
from Bucks
extends,
perspective or Celtics perspective?
Knicks. If this series extends and you guys continue to not have any bench play, does that worry you guys? Because I feel like the whole second half, you guys play your starters the whole time.
Listen,
we have bench play. We do. Go ahead, Chris.
We had plenty of bench play. If you look at the numbers in game 1 to game 2, was much different. Look, coaches do different things. People complained and said, how come Detroit doesn't call a timeout in that 21-0 run? Some coaches let you play through it and figure it out.
Yeah,
I think Tim said he wasn't going to change anything. We were struggling. He wanted them to get through it. He kept them in the game. Like, it's just what it is.
We had 9 guys that played on game 1, and they
9
played well.
guys played well.
Mitch, Campaign, you saw what Campaign did off the bench. Deuce had a decent game 1. Tibbs didn't have a good game in game 2. I don't know what it is. He had a bad game. He didn't make adjustments. He didn't use the bench at all. he only really played McBride and Robinson. I don't know why Payne didn't play. I know he got in some foul trouble early, but he played 4 minutes considering the game he had.
He had 3 fouls like the first quarter. Like it was
Landry
bad.
Shamet didn't play. So yeah, Tibbs himself had the players had a bad game on Tuesday. Tibbs had a bad game too. So or Monday, whatever it was.
If they go down 2-1, are you worried, Topher?
Then I'm worried, 100%. If we get dominated in Game 3, then yeah, my story changes very drastically, and you might.
Yeah, but what if we lose by 2 or 3 in Game 3? We don't get dominated if we still lose the game.
I'm going through a tunnel, so I might get cut out here. I don't know, but yeah, 100%. If we lose the first game there, I'd be very worried. I'm very confident that they're going to go in and take care of business. I think I said it in the group chat today. It's a lock. They're not going to lose Game 3. It's a lock.
It's
There's been enough noise since Monday. There's been enough noise.
Get your wallet out, Tony. Put your money on
Do not do that unless you want to lose money.
We are going to be together for Game 3, so.
That's true.
Yeah, we're going to be at the draft. I hope they got some TVs in there.
Let's go to our most improved, well, I would say MIP, most improved player, or most improved Flugrat when it comes to the internet game, and we'll pivot off of our friend in the tunnel. Tony, tell us about your 0-2 Bucks, which rhymes with...
First off, that's hilarious that you say that, because I have no clue how this is going to turn out with the video quality of this from what I'm seeing. But I just want to say, before I start to get really upset and go on my rant, my guy Topher, a year ago, I brought this up to my guy Topher to come up and see me for the NFL draft. And from day one, this guy has told me he was going to be there. Never, ever has been on, he's been on me this whole time. He's never favored. And here he is driving to see me. And tomorrow we're going to be mixing up with Kirk Herbstreit. We're going to be mixing up with Todd McShay. We're going to be mixing up with all the guys at ESPN. They're all there right now. We're going to Dan Patrick, all of it. We're going to be seeing them tomorrow.
I know a couple of them too. Jordan Rondon. If we see him, we can go talk to him because I know him. He'll know me. So that would be awesome.
Dan Patrick?
No, I said Jordan Rondon. He don't really know me, but I know him, so we would see him. Yeah.
Hey, don't name drop me to divert the attention off your crappy playoff team, Tony. You're 0-2.
Okay.
Tell me about your 0-2 Bucks.
To get onto my team. Holy moly, this team sucks. Like, for real? All right. Not liking our performance. We've been just as sucky as we were just talking about the Knicks. The role players are all bums per usual. And our Game 3 is literally for the entire franchise. So if you guys aren't worried about Game 3, I'm telling you I'm fearing for my life for Game 3. Because if we go down 0-3, we're done. But I mean, to have 3 first-round losses, I cannot see Giannis wanting to continue to play for this team. Because last year, at least, we were able to bang it on, like, injuries. We could say, like, oh, we weren't there. Like, what could it be? We're all there. All the players are there right now, and we're getting steamrolled. So, sucks. This team sucks. And Kyle Kuzma might be the worst player in the NBA. Literally, statistically,
you wish you didn't do that trade now,
get
huh?
a statistic in Game 1 until the second half of Game 2. So that guy's a bum. Get him out of here. Get Doc Rivers out of here. Seems frustrating. It's very frustrating.
I
don't even think we've led this series.
Yo, you probably haven't. Your team does not play defense.
Send Giannis to New York if you want.
Oh, they probably will.
He can send Giannis to New York if he wants.
The Bucks get dusted in this series like 4-0, 4-1. They're going to blow that team up.
The whole shebang. Blow the whole thing up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I could see Giannis getting shipped to Brooklyn. I hate to say it.
Guys, I
don't know who I'd
They
want
have a
on
ton
that
of draft
team,
picks. They have a ton of draft picks.
Wait,
they have 9 or 10. The Nets.
He said Brooklyn, yeah.
We need draft picks.
They have a ton of picks. They have like 9 or 10 picks over the next couple of years. Most of them are from the Knicks. but
and those Houston ones don't probably look that good either because now Houston's good, and that was from
first
the
round
James
picks are still
trade.
first round picks. I mean, they have some young talent, but if Giannis wants out, which he might if they get blown up in this series because Indiana's running up and down the court, so I could see them definitely making some wholesale changes on that team. And look, they won a title, right? So I mean that cures a lot of pain. So you won a title a few years ago. It's a lot easier to do all that knowing you've already got a title rather than still waiting, like some of us.
Well, I'll say this. I mean, 2 years ago, I don't know. Giannis is like a super nice guy, so I don't know like what's real and not real. But I think he really wanted out before we got Dame, like 2 years ago, and then we got Dame, and that changed that. But including the Dame deal, like none of these moves have panned out, like not a single one. So like, if we do not make it out of the first round, I could totally see him wanting out. But like, as far as like winning a championship, like how that holds you over, first off, that year sucked for me, so didn't count for me. And second off, we're looking at like a decade. If we don't get like a solid haul for him, none of these other guys we're gonna get pennies on the dollar for. We're looking at like Bulls territory of like a decade of mediocrity.
I mean, the East is not, the East is kind of mediocre after you get off the first 4 or 5, to be honest with you. So it's not going to take a lot of changes to stay in the mix. One or two moves
East,
here and there, you can always be in the East.
But Tony,
It's
what
very
if,
top heavy.
use the OKC model though? Like the way I see it is, if you take all your superstars, at least 2 of them, and get a good haul and just invest in the draft and say, screw it, we don't care. We're that team for a year, right? Send us your guys that you don't want. We'll buy them out. You know what I mean? Do that for a year or two. But look at OKC now. Look at the assets
Yeah,
they've accumulated. Look at the assets they still have. Look at the money they have, because a lot of their guys are drafted, which means that they're under team control and you get different rights. You know what I mean? So you might have to go through a little pain, but
Rick,
1 or 2 years
you're
is
right.
better than 4 or 5.
You're right, but they've been doing that model since Kevin Durant left that team in 2015. It's
I was
No,
gonna
they
20.
tried to
say
keep
they
it together
started
with
that
Russ.
Durant, they had
No, they
Harden,
had
they had
Russ, they had
Westbrook to
PG.
get.
Yeah.
No, but what'd that give them? That didn't do anything for them. I mean,
No,
they blew that.
but they kept trade, like, again, the Paul George trade is
Yeah,
how
they picked
SGA
up
got
pieces,
to.
picked up expiring contracts, but like where they are now with all those picks and all the money that you said, and then drafting, getting Shea Gilgeous Alexander, like they've been building up that team, in my opinion, since KD left in 2015. So they've had some success here and there, like a playoff spurt, and Westbrook was kind of like a one-man show for a little bit, but they weren't a serious threat till now, almost 10 years later.
Well, you got to find out when they traded Westbrook, because he's definitely played for like 15 teams since he left.
He's played for like
A
a
lot.
lot in the last 5-6 years. It's been at least 5 or 6 teams.
Okay, but also just saying, because when the Celtics had to do this pivot off of the big 3 to what, they were successful but not winning championships, it was a lot longer than, it was longer than 1 or 2 years. It was about the same as OKC. But again, look at OKC. Look at how we're set up. But they're set up because, again, it's the draft. I'm telling you, the draft is how you control a lot of things, including the cap and your guys' bird rights and the ability to trade them and make them a restricted free agent and get matching, equity in case they want to leave and you don't want them. So
Draft for you guys too, though. It's been the draft for the Celtics too. Your bread and
but
butter.
we had to trade our superstars and make that hard decision. But I've been watching
I get what you guys are
HBO
saying,
documentary.
and in theory, that's a great theory. But right now, the
So
Bucks have
so is the Dame
0 young good players. We have 0 draft picks. So like, yeah,
exactly?
let's
And you've been dumping them for
do
years.
that
So was
model,
Dame
but like, let's get all those things first.
to make him happy and keep him there? Was that what the reason was? They
100%.
bring yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So now you're just Matt. So Rick's saying dump them both, and just start over, get a bunch of draft capital.
I don't know what you're
Start
going
the
to
whole
get. You're
I
obviously
know
going to
what
get a
you're
lot
for
for
Dame
Giannis.
now. Yeah.
He's got health scares.
What-
He's up there.
What would you trade? What would you want from us? Just curious.
Dame?
I was talking to Mark about this. No, for Freak, because I was talking to Mark, the one I went to the game with to meet Karan. Who would you, if you wanted Giannis gone, who would you want from us?
I want
You want
starting
Giannis.
with the Wizards
Crazy.
pick. That's number 1, because I want that draft pick, and then
Okay.
I want McBride. I'm starting from the bottom because I'm going to the bench. I want
Done.
McBride.
Deal.
Obviously, not just McBride. Okay. I want Anobi. And I don't want any.
See, I don't think we would give OG up because honestly,
They don't fit.
I don't think we would. I think we.
I want to
Well, listen. I think OG.
You just asked him what a trade he would do, and then you didn't let him finish. Hold on.
Well, I want to tell him something. I want to tell him what Mark said real quick.
Bruh.
Would you want Brunson for him? Mark's the guy I went to the game with that Patty can't stand.
Stop name dropping me.
Would you do it? Would you do it for Brunson? I'm just curious. I'm asking that for Mark.
Brunson in the pick?
Brunson in the pick? Would you do it?
Yeah.
Would you do it for Brunson in the pick?
Yeah.
All right.
Heartbeat.
See, Mark thinks you would do it just for Brunson.
No, I would do it for Brunson.
Brunson in the pick.
And I'm going to tell you why. He's saying you would do it because Giannis wants out and you're really not going to get anything anyway. Because it's going to be hard to get what he's worth. Would you take Brunson? Would you take Brunson for him?
Here's the type of player, if he hits the market, teams are going to be competing against each other. He's the one player I do think we would get. We could get a star.
All right, so you would take Brunson in the pick?
Yeah.
Because I know you're going to name a bunch of people, so I'm asking you would take Brunson in the pick.
Yeah, it's either Brunson in the pick or you're the rest of your roster, or just you keep Brunson and we'll take every player on your roster. Like,
how about you, Karan? I love Brunson, but would you trade him?
And the pick.
Would you give up Cat for him?
Yes, I would.
Would you give up Cat in the pick for him?
Yes.
Would you give up OG and anything for him?
No, I would not give up. I give up Bridges. I give up out of our starting five.
Before OG?
I would give me personally. I feel like OG is the most important piece on our team.
No,
who's nuts?
Said that.
Who's nuts?
Who's nuts? You just said you would trade Brunson in a Giannis deal, but not OG.
Listen.
I said I would trade neither of those two.
He said he would. He said he would trade neither. I'm saying I think OG is the most important piece on our team because
I'm saying I would trade Towns or Bridges and picks, but those are the only two starters that are expendable to me.
Yep, I would never get rid of Hart. I would never get rid of OG. It'd be
listen,
hard.
I love Hart. I love Hart. The Bucks aren't going to go for that anyway, so I'm not going to, it's
now,
names. It's got to be Bridges or Towns.
Brunson, Hart in the pick. I would do that too.
Would you throw Mitchell Robinson and Bridges at him in the pick? Because I think that's what I would do.
I don't want Mr. Robinson. He's
Stop leaving your trash outside your hotel room. He's not doing it. No.
You guys are so disrespectful to the Block Nest Monster. He is such a huge piece to our team.
No.
And it ain't to score points.
Kyle Kuzma.
It's not to score points.
No.
Nope.
I'll give you Cam Payne, Landry Shamet, Mitchell Robinson, and a pick.
Can we all agree? Hold on. Can we all agree that no matter what trade you make, Giannis is the best player in that trade, no matter what? Correct?
Yes.
Okay.
That's why if I could give up Brunson and hardly anything else, I would.
You should.
And I would keep most of the team together. But if I had to give stuff up, I would part with Cat. And I would keep OG because I think he's one of the most important pieces on our court. He guards the best player on the other team, and he can go out and score 20 points.
Someone could sell your GM a shiny rock. They give him 8 friggin' first-round picks for it. I don't want to hear it. So,
but
I'm good.
If we're the Bucks for real, like we want young players and draft picks, so we're looking at like Houston and OKC and like Minnesota.
You're not looking for a star, right? You're looking to rebuild.
Players, like. Give me those guys on Houston, and a draft pick. That would be what I want.
Okay. Yeah.
Or Jaylen Brown.
You would get some solid pieces, no matter what. If you blow it up, you would definitely get some solid pieces for Giannis. You would get something for Dame. I feel like just offload everybody. Just get rid of Kuzma, get rid of Bobby Portis, get rid of all of them. Everybody. Restart from scratch. And go from there.
Those are the guys that are going to be harder to trade. Brook Lopez
Dame's going to have to go to a team that's ready.
Right, but if you around the trade deadline, someone will want him. You always know that right around, you know what I mean? People become expendable, and then people become in demand when injury and things of that thing. You know what I mean? So
I feel like somebody would want Lopez or Dame that's ready. Somebody that's close. Somebody's trying to add that piece for the playoffs. Or, like you're saying, Rick, when somebody gets hurt towards the end of the trade deadline and you need to add another piece to get you over the hump. They are going to be hard to trade over somebody that's trying to build a championship team, though. I mean, that's why he's trying to get rid of them.
Well, hold on though. My counter to that though is that except everybody I mentioned except Kuzma, all those guys have won a championship. So if you put them on a team, and like you said, on a team trying to win a championship, they're going to be
Did
able to
Kuzma
bring
win
that.
one with the Lakers?
Hmm?
Did Kuzma win one with the Lakers in 2020 in the bubble? I don't remember. I'm just asking. I
No,
thought maybe
because
he did get one.
he was in the AD trade.
Yep.
I think.
Okay, I got you.
Yep.
Yeah. I think they
I
traded
don't know how
that whole
much time
team
we
to
got.
get AD.
I don't know
It's
how much
probably
time we
about
have.
halftime there, my
You
friend.
don't want to
How
say
about the
anything about
Celtics?
your back.
Can we get a minute
That's what
on
I
the
was getting ready to
Celtics?
say. You don't want to
What do
say
you
anything
think?
about your Celtics before you.
What is there to say? We're great. We're the champs. I mean, we're beating right now Orlando. We got our MVP caliber players sitting out. Ain't no thing.
Does that injury worry you? I'm just asking.
It's a bone bruise, so I mean, again, if we can make short work of Orlando and just get time to rest, then no.
Which they
If
will.
Right, if this
They
turns
will.
into a series as a result and all that other stuff, yeah, of course. Why wouldn't I be worried? It's the playoffs again. All I've listened to, and then this is the thing: if you're a basketball historian, then you know, no matter who won the championship any season, a lot of teams' seasons were derailed in the playoffs due to injury. It never fails, right? Someone just reminded me the other day, like, hey, not for nothing, but Steph Curry's first championship, Kevin Love got hurt, and so did Kyrie. And I went, oh yeah, that did happen. So, not the biggest fan of those guys. Didn't like that they won the championship, but there's a championship where a bunch of guys got hurt. The list goes on. So, with that said, yeah, I don't want injuries to ruin a championship season. But we'll see. Bone bruise. Joe won't
I
let
think
him.
he's
He's
sitting
just
out
gonna beat him.
because I think he's sitting out because they're playing Orlando.
Yeah,
That's me.
yeah.
I think they can handle it without him, which they are. I think they're up by 12 now with game 2. They'll make these playoffs have been pretty much chalk the way I expected. Some of the series have been better than others. I thought the Clippers and Nuggets was probably going to be one of the best series in the playoffs. Obviously, that's 1-1. Lakers Timberwolves, I think, is a very good series too. The rest of them, I mean, Cleveland's going to roll, Boston's going to roll. Indy, sorry, Tony, I don't see the Milwaukee surviving the way Indiana plays.
You're still until you lose on home court.
Yeah, you're right.
Hey.
And the Knicks lost on home court, so
Hey.
obviously I'm disappointed in that. I was hoping the Knicks would be 2-0, but that looks like it's going to be a series. We'll see.
Hey, we're going to halftime, not away from it. Anything we need to say before we go into the half, boys?
What does that mean?
Halftime,
I think he wants half.
the time of the half. In the break, when we take a break on the thing, and then we go
He's got to poop like
say
Shaq
swears
right
and
now.
do stuff off camera.
Yeah.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, it's about that time for halftime. We'll see you on the flip side when you come back. Clash and Conferences Basketball Podcast. Mwah.
Hey everyone, thanks for listening. Just a few quick reminders for everybody. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Michael Jordan is the GOAT. And check out our fellow podcaster, Jim Montgomery, with This Day in Philly Sports History. Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back. Clash and Conferences Basketball Podcast. We got rid of one of those dirty knickerbockers. We said, get out of here. He's in a tunnel
Handicap
somewhere.
match.
Now we just got Karan. Now it's a handicap match for me and
Left me
Tony.
high and dry. All right.
Rick Ramon,
The ladder
Tony
match now?
Flugrat.
Have you made for himself?
Yep.
Got even
Let's go.
dirtier.
All right.
We cut him off the show.
Tony P, I need you to tell me this story in 30 seconds or less. Are you ready?
But yeah, is this part of Mad Libs or just story time?
Okay, yes, confirmation. That's what I was looking for. And here we go. Tell me the general reaction that your parents had to the end of WrestleMania with John Cena and Cody Rhodes.
Oh, completely devastated. Completely devastated. Wanting to give up on the sport. Just shamed by the honor and the privilege that these wrestlers carry themselves with. An indignity at all. And John Cena, 17-time champion. That's all you gotta say is gets it done, dude. Gets it done. Greatest to ever do
Shout
it.
out to John Cena. Listen, one more, he could be like the Celtics. 18, all right? But
For real,
from one
it
champ
was
to
like
another.
Yeah, it was definitely my parents were the video you watch on the internet where the team, I'm never watching this again. Like, that was bullshit. Like, it was so good. I stayed for an extra 20 minutes just looking at him, laughing at him. So, it was great.
So there you go, ladies and
WrestleMania.
gentlemen. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. We have a wrestling mixed martial arts. I'm not really sure what it is, but I know it's going to be good. And we might be giving you little clips and little synopsises and vignettes of people like Tony telling you
Yeah.
how my aunt and uncle react to pay-per-views, which are always great. Also, we have a lot of other family that watches it. They are mutually hilarious. So stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. Flashing conferences, lots of good stuff coming. Content, content, content. All right, boys, are you ready? Do you know what time it is? There's only 3 of us here, so I mean, somebody better know what time it is.
Round robin. What
Alice.
is that?
There we go. I
Oh.
thought it was time for Tony's dog. Jump on screen.
I
Content
mean,
manager,
they are
I apologize.
having
I've
their
kept
own
you
little
very
wrestling
busy.
match of their own behind me, so that's great for me. Loving that.
Nice.
Uh-huh.
All right. Well, content manager, I know your night has been extra long due to all the editing you're doing right now. But if you will so please, cue the music. And we're back. All right. We all got kids to put to bed. Come on now. Anyways, Karan.
I don't have kids to put
Right.
to bed.
Now that Topher's not here,
Uh-huh.
I want to pivot because I actually do want an answer to that question. What would you do in a trade for Giannis? What would you legitimately give up if it was up to you?
Carl Anthony Towns, if they're willing to take Mikal Bridges, and what I don't know, and I don't mean to sound unknowledgeable about it. I don't know what picks we actually have left because we gave up a lot of picks to get Mikal Bridges. So if there's any picks that we could part with that Milwaukee's willing to take, that would be a starting point for me. No, I would not
It's the
trade OG.
Wizards.
To
The
what
reason
Chris
it's
said.
so good is it's the Wizards' top 10 protected this year, but next year I assume it would be unprotected. So, like,
If that gets it done, if that's what gets it done, Towns, Bridges, and that pick because it's top 10, that's what I would be willing to part with and not be worried about.
Yeah. Tony, would you do that trade?
no.
No.
I either need a star or a young guy who's going to be a star. And I don't think those guys are that. I mean, like
Towns
Giannis,
and
would he
Bridges
be
are
the
both
guy
young.
like you're looking for? He's like top target.
Towns
If he's
and
on the
Bridges are both
market.
young for what it's worth.
I mean, I guess my pitch to you, Tony, would be I think that's an acceptable trade, but then what about the possibility of a reroute or a 3-way trade? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, all right, we got Cat, but now we're trading him to this team for this guy. And you go, okay. Right? Whereas maybe those teams wouldn't have lined up and did that on their own, but you playing middleman? No?
Yeah, I'm not a GM. I don't know who they're talking to behind the scenes, but if it leads to more trades and more packages, everybody knows the tanking game. The more assets you can get, the better. So whatever
Tony, it's Matt
assets we
Libs.
can get.
You are the GM in Matt Libs. You're the GM.
Yeah, so I say no to that. I told you where I'd want to go. I'd want to go to Houston. I want to go to OKC. I want to go to Minnesota. I want to go to Detroit.
So there's
Those
nobody
are
on the Knicks you would do any trade for?
Brunson. And then I would
Okay.
if we're doing the package you're telling me, then I want the guys who on your bench. I want Hart and I want McBride. I want basically your entire roster besides Brunson.
Okay, so like a KG.
We already went down that road once with Carmelo Anthony.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense. All right. I don't even know. Boys, do you want to talk about the playoffs? Do you want to do Matt Libs? This has been a wonky night, I feel like we're a tricycle team right now. So what do you want to do? I'll leave it up to you. What do you want to do? This has never happened in the history of Matt Libs.
We could go through the playoffs if you want, real quick.
Yeah.
I'm with it.
All
right.
OKC. Let's start
run down the
west.
list.
OKC and Memphis. Start there. That's been
OKC,
pretty wild.
done. Next. Massacre.
Okay, like
Next.
I said, Cleveland, Boston, OKC, they're just gonna roll. I mean, they're just playing because they have to right now. So the other series, I think,
going
are
to
all
happen
pretty
in Memphis?
good.
I think Memphis is an interesting team like next season? What do you
Gentlemen
think? They're
sweep.
gonna blow it up, or you think they're gonna
Blow it up. Blow it up.
I think
I think they hold on to
could be
Morant.
solid.
I think they do hold on to Morant. I don't think they trade him. But I mean, I do think they make some change. I mean, it's hard. Memphis, they don't attract free agents, right? They got to go through the draft. They got to go
Trade.
through trade.
Trade.
So, yeah, I still think they keep Morant, and if they have him, they're always in the running for at least a playoff spot. So, and if he's healthy and he's not, misbehaving, so
I'd trade him. I don't know.
maybe he needs a change of scenery. I don't know. So,
Maybe. That's what I'm saying. I think maybe a change of scenery would be good for him. And I think that if you have a star like that, you're going to get something equitable. So you might as well do something before he leaves or becomes disgruntled and lowers his value,
It looks like it's just me and you now, Rick.
This is the weirdest blind date I've ever been set up on.
A steel cage match.
What the hell kind of content is Steve trying to get tonight?
Just to touch on the other series, I think LA Minnesota is going to be a 7-game series deep down. I just think I think they'll split in Minnesota.
Yeah.
I think they'll come back to Game 5. There's a lot of star appeal in there. Anthony Edwards, obviously Luka, LeBron. I mean, that's a great series. I mean, watching Julius Randle last night put in 27 points.
Mm-hmm.
Hurts my heart a little bit, but that's a good series. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. And the other ones too. I mean, like in the East, hopefully I'm pulling for Milwaukee. I hope that's a series. I don't want to see Indiana advance. I don't like anything about Indiana. I hope they beat each other up a little bit. But either way, the winner of that team series is going to go play Cleveland. And I'm hoping that's going to be Knicks Celtics. We've talked about it for months now. I hope that it actually.
Lord, boy, you are. Oh, yeah. Don't.
Hey, listen. Don't twist my words. I'm not wishing to play the Celtics, okay? I'm not saying, oh, you got your wish, you're going to play the Celtics. It's inevitable. For us to advance, we have to play the Celtics.
Sure. I listen to a lot of other podcasts from NBA, former NBA players, because them having their own platform is awesome. You get to hear a different take, right? With that said, someone gave a very easy to understand explanation of what the Knicks offense is. Look, man, at certain points in the game, it just turns into Brunson bringing the ball down the court, holding the ball for 20 seconds. He goes ISO. He goes to the elbow. He's very good, by the way. The man does not miss. But it's always a two-pointer, or he's deferring to someone with about 5 seconds left in the shot clock. The ball is not getting moved the way they want. Someone's taking a shot out of rhythm. That's their offense. So if you want to walk the ball down the court and shoot a bunch of elbow twos, go for it, bro, because the Celtics are going to bomb 50 or 60 threes on you. And those elbow jumpers don't mean nothing. That's why they're scoring 90-something points.
We're going to beat the Celtics. I'm just saying it's for us to – that's just the hand we were dealt this year, right?
Mm-hmm.
We have to play Boston in the second round.
I'm saying that I'm worried that you're not going to make it to the second round, if I'm being quite honest. I really, in my heart, mean that. I think Topher and I talk a lot outside of the podcast, I think he thinks I'm joking or I'm – no, I genuinely think they have –
You're not alone in that thought.
They have a good young team.
Yeah, I know. And what they did to the Knicks in game 1 and 2 was a wake-up call. I hope they bounce back and take care of business in Detroit. I'm still confident they'll win the series. I don't, obviously it's not going to be Knicks in 5 or Knicks in 4 anymore, like people had hoped. I'm hoping they win in 6. We'll see.
Well, Porzingis is bloody. That's not good.
That's your biggest fear. That's your biggest fear.
That's not good at all.
Somebody just gets
all right. Now he's out. There we go. Again, we were talking about injuries, boys. This is why, again, Rick Ramone, Matt, doesn't matter who it is. I'm saying that when the playoffs start, it's all about luck and health.
That's just one thing with these playoffs so far is with the way offense is in the NBA, with everybody like scoring 120, 130 points of regular season. All these playoff games have been very low scoring.
Very low scoring. I was going to be saying, where has that been? I haven't seen none of that.
75 points in the fourth quarter.
Watching the Celtics documentary on HBO, when the big three were going at it with LeBron in the 08 series, there were games that the Celtics and the Cavs were in the 60s and the 70s.
Yeah.
So it's playoff basketball. These guys just stopped scoring.
Everyone says like 90s that this is like some resemblance to 90s basketball. I mean, the Knicks lost 100 to 94. I think Minnesota lost yesterday 95, 84, something like that. So I mean, they're not scoring 100 points in these games.
No. And you also got people like the Magic bringing in their jobbers to come in and start throwing bows. I don't even know who this schmo was that just threw this bow and hit him in the face, but he's like, "What, me? The guy's on the ground bleeding. What who?"
That's your biggest fear right now, honestly. That would be your biggest fear, is that one of your guys gets hurt in a not meaningless, because obviously they're all important, but let's
Well,
be
they are
honest.
getting hurt. They're getting beaten right now. I think teams that are mad that can't beat them by skill, they're like, "Well, we'll just hurt you," which is something people
That's
do.
what
Yeah,
they're gonna do. But I
yeah.
just want to say, like, this whole playoff basketball thing is crap. Like, I've been watching the NBA playoffs, and these 4 5 minute stretches of these teams going 0 for 12, 0 for 10 is not playoff basketball. It's bad basketball.
No.
Like,
Garbage.
garbage.
Can I tell? I'm going to tell you a proposition that I have, because I know we talked about the not tanking tournament, or the do not tank tournament, right?
Mhm.
Hear me out on this. I think that this is what the NBA needs to do to really shake things up and make people give a crap. So you have the not tanking tournament, and you rearrange it based on, again, like fair positioning. So one plays two, right? The last two seeds play each other. Like, it's a complete different format. But you give, what is it? The top, I don't know how many two teams. You give the top two teams in each conference a bye. You have the bottom four teams, which would be six total, have them play, right? Or whatever the monkey math is on it, but cut out a couple of teams from the playoffs. They keep adding. Cut them out. Put more teams in the do not tank tournament and incentivize not being a crappy franchise. And if you're one of those like, hey, I'm a 7 seed. Yeah, we're good enough, right? No, you're not. Not anymore. Out. Out. Again, stop rewarding the 9 and the 10 seed. Oh, they're a playoff team. No, they're not. They're trash. They wouldn't have been in the playoffs if it was the old format. You expanded it to let more bums in. I say get them out and make them scared, right? No?
Yeah, you could do something like what football does. I mean, obviously, football has 7 teams in each conference make the playoffs. Top seed gets a bye. So then in basketball, you got the 8 seeds that make make the playoffs. So, but the 9 and 10 are in that tournament, thing. Which is, again, we talked about it a few weeks ago. I don't mind it. I mean, they do give you the occasional good game in the play-in tournament, so it doesn't bother me. It's still 8 teams at the end of the day that make the playoffs. You're going to incentivize
NBA's only
it,
going to do what makes them money.
So.
But hold on, this is what I'm saying. If you remove more playoff teams out of the championship ones, right, then that makes this a little more important. But also, if you take all these scrub teams and you make series out of those, you got 2 tournaments going on at the same time. War games. Instead of these bums sitting at home who purposely didn't want to play or try, hey, no. Oh, you thought you were getting a top 3 pick? No, go play. Go play.
No, I mean, I've always been a proponent of doing the draft tournament. Always.
Light a fire under their tushies. All right. That's the end of that, boys. I don't know where we're at. We had a lot of games, a lot of series. Tony, you're still here. Dogs barking. Topher's in a tunnel. I can't do a friggin' code. But we made it.
We did. Got to the finish line.
We made it.
We made it.
Karan, how do you feel?
Anxious to. I hate the 2 days off between the games. We played Monday. I don't want Tuesday and Wednesday off. I understand travel days and they stretch the schedule out, but they're playing now tomorrow night. So I really hope that they get back on the right track.
Tony P, your Bucks. Dead on arrival.
I mean, honestly, I don't give a crap about the Bucks right now. This is going to be a once-in-a-lifetime experience tomorrow, going to the draft, watching the Knicks game, and then Friday, I'll be gearing up for war for the Bucks, and then going to the draft again. So, once-in-a-lifetime experience. Me and Topher are going to be all over the place. You're going to see our faces everywhere. I'll be with Topher. You're going to see us with celebrities. You're going to see us with some Wisconsin honeys. All these things. Let's go.
Can you guys go live on Instagram?
Packers are on the clock. Let's go.
Hey, can you go live on Instagram?
Yeah, Topher knows how to do that.
Frozen.
Yeah. Topher can do that.
And he's back. Okay. And he's frozen. Ladies and gentlemen, we are the Clashing Conferences Basketball Podcast Edition.
Happened?
Always, he's frozen.
Can you hear
Always
me?
looking for new members.
Cut it. Let's go Knicks.
I don't even have a pillow.
Go Pack, go! Woo!
I really hope you cut all that out, Steve.
Boom, boom, boom.